Money, 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 money.
Money, money.
There's a guy with a lot of it in the Bible, and that's what we're going to talk about on the Jackson Cloud. Welcome back to the Jackson Cloud. It is Friday, and we're going to play a game that we played on Wednesday. It's called The Mind. Essentially, without talking, without gesturing, without anything, we need to connect our minds together. There's 1 through 100 cards. We need to put them out in order, not knowing what each other has. If we use a ninja star, we can get rid of the lowest number in our card. If we mess up, we lose a life, and we only have 3 of those for starters. We are on level 1, which means each one of us has 1 card. Let's play. Woo. All right, we beat level 1. That was very close. 3 digits away. All right.
That's why I was like, I'm in the first third, but I'm at the first third, not,
Level 2, we get 1 extra ninja star. Everybody gets 2 cards this time. And here we go. I think because I skipped both of you, it only cost us 1 life.
Okay.
But you looked like, no, I'm in the 90s, so that's...
No. I had 2 cards left. I was like, hey, I just want to make sure you're not between, like...
Your face looked like, I ain't budging anytime soon. I was like, well, 70's
I
lower
played
than
that
90.
one right. I feel happy with my performance there.
I wasn't making a face. I've been stone-faced. Just
no!
not cheat, I was just waiting to see how long it was going to take you before I played it.
All right. We are on to level 3. We get 1 life back.
Cool.
How far can we beat level 5 in these speed rounds? Begin.
Start?
I think we should do a star.
No.
Close one, 91 to 92. All right. Interesting.
What if I had 90 something else, Casey?
The probability was still on my side,
It was also on my side.
but I was correct.
This is, I think, the
Level
best
4.
we've done so far. Level 4. Here we go.
Only 1 life lost so far.
12 cards to put in order.
Who?
Let's find out what happens. I
Did
saw
anyone
it.
I
see
saw
that?
it.
Yeah,
Okay.
we saw it. Here we go.
I need a new card.
Sure you do. You skipped.
Oh, by 1.
By 1. So 14's
Dang it.
out there, 15.
Oh.
We lost
Rip on
1
that.
life. Okay.
Are you out?
Yeah, that was all my cards.
All right, level 5.
We made it to level level 5 with 2 lives.
Made it to level 5. And we have 3 ninja stars. We could almost beat this whole round just using ninja stars. Remember that.
I mean,
So this is another strategy. If you have card 100, play it. And that means you skipped everybody else. And we're done with the round. We lose 1 life. But, no, I'm serious. We lose a life, but we skip the whole round. And we just want to get to level 6. I think someone, if you have a really high card, I'm just putting it out there. Think about it. Think about it.
what?
Think about it. I'm speaking to myself too here.
I know.
I skipped you.
Yep.
Just one.
Yeah.
Start.
Yeah, and then start next.
I'm out. Remember, 2 more ninja stars.
I'm not opposed to using another one.
Okay, let's do another one.
Just want to get to level 6. I'm really glad you used that. Maybe you should just use the final one.
I'm okay with
Because
using
if
the
we don't
final
get to
one.
level 6, I'm going to be mad.
All right, ninja star for the last one.
And 87, 89. All right, good. I'm glad we did it. We made it to level 6.
Level 6.
Yeah.
We only have 1. Oh, we get a life back.
Hey,
up to 2
all
lives.
right.
Woo!
But no more ninja
We
stars.
just used 3 ninja stars in one
One
round.
round.
But it
It's
was
okay.
a really good thing we did because those cards were real close.
That would have been bad, for sure.
I mean, unless we do
4,
Jamin's
5,
trick
6.
of
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 18 cards in a row, 2 lives. Can we beat this level? Let's find out. Lost by 2 points. 2 points. And that is the mind. Our high score is level 6. No ninja stars left. But we're getting this to, we might actually be able to beat this. Who knows? One day.
one day.
This will be
indeed.
the only
One
game we
day
play
more.
for the rest of the show until we beat it.
So every Monday night we get together to play video games for Nerd Church and then talk about Jesus, but we've been playing this Minecraft campaign for like 3 months now. Apparently, little did I know, there's a dragon in the game. So I'm like, nah, that doesn't make sense. And Tyler was like staring at it, was like, oh look, there is a dragon in this game. So here we all are in the end, and I'm stealing everybody's stuff because I didn't come in here with anything. I was just gonna punch the dragon. They're like, no, Jamin, that won't work. So I'm like, okay, I'll steal all your stuff then. And And then lo and behold, me and Tyler just kept jumping and punching a dragon. And in your face, everybody, it actually worked. We blew the whole thing up. And I was like, okay, this game's pointless now. We beat it. And I don't know what else you're supposed to do in Minecraft. So we saw credits and everything. So I was like, all right, well, that was fun for the time that it passed, and now it's over. But then we went back to our house, and Olivia's like, hey, we could face a wither now. And I'm like, what's a wither? Apparently it's harder than a dragon. So she goes in a cave under our house, spawns a wither, and we're like, yeah, we're going to do this just like last time. We're going to punch and jump and punch a wither. And me and Tyler tried, but then it blew us up instantly. We're like, oh, maybe we won't just jump and punch a wither. But we didn't give up. We spawned back by the house. We went back downstairs, and then it was still blowing stuff up until finally it blew up the ceiling of the cave, and the ocean came in, and so we had to like go through the ocean and go back to the house, which was now like only half there. It looked like Iron Man 2 after his house had been exploded, and then we kept fighting the wither, and it kept blowing things up even more, and then all of our treasure chests were blown up, and all our stuff was just going down a waterfall, so we're taking all of it back, and I'm trying to fight it with potatoes at this point, because that's all I picked out of the treasure chest, and then he keeps killing us. And then check this out, he's not even killing us anymore, we're all killing each other by accident. Salty Dog was slain by Darth Gump. We're trying to fight a wither here, guys, but then finally someone did it. I think Rob got the final blow, but apparently he got the final blow because the wither just blows up after you blow him up, and then he blows you all up, and then when it was all over, like, oh, everything's gone and we have nothing left. Okay, today we're going to talk about money. Where are some passages that come to your mind when you think about Jesus and money?
Flipping the tables.
Yeah, so he walks in and you've turned this into a den of thieves and robbers, and he flips tables, money going everywhere, which I think was a quote of Isaiah. So he's fulfilling that prophecy right there. Is like, and we see that all the time. You ever been in like a church or like heard music in the Christian sphere that just sounds like money? Or you go to a festival and it's all just plagiarized art, like Sprite, but it says Spirit instead, but it's over the Sprite logo.
Yeah.
There are some tables that you just want to go flip, like you think
wasn't there Mountain Dew one that was like Jesus something?
Probably, I would know. Mountain of God or something like that. I wouldn't be surprised,
If you can think of it,
it exists. Yeah. So, yeah, you do have, Jesus especially scolds them for how they've turned the work of God and his sacred presence into a financial monopoly of sorts. Yeah, what else with money and Jesus?
Jesus never seems to have any.
Yeah, so Judas was technically the treasurer, which means they must have had some money. But Judas also shows how money corrupts. John says that he used to steal money out of the treasury, which is obviously like we figured this out later after we realized that he sold Jesus out for money. So they must have had some money, but at the same time, he doesn't seem to have any in some of the main stories that we come across. He has to pay the temple tax at one point, and where does he get it?
With 2 fish?
Well, a fish.
With a fish,
yeah. He just like,
2 coins
go get a
for
shekel out of a fish and give it to them. So like, and he doesn't even seem to touch the money. He has the disciples go get it and then pass it off. Sadducees come up to him at one point trying to prove that like Caesar's money is evil, Jesus doesn't have, what Jesus says, like, sure, show me a coin, let's talk about it. Which is funny because, like, why didn't he just pull out his own coin? Seems like he doesn't have one. So the Sadducees, who shouldn't have this heretical money that they're insulting, it's like, I don't know, you guys got a coin? Oh, yeah, sure, hang on. So there's some humor there as to, oh, yeah, let me see your evil money really quick. So there's that story. But then, yeah, Jesus doesn't seem to have a lot of money. I would say maybe one of the blueprints about how he lived his life might be found in when he sends his disciples out to do ministry. He tells them they don't need much to go do it. They don't. In fact, let me find it specifically so we can say what it was that he took. Yeah, so when Jesus sends out disciples in Matthew 10:8, he says, heal the sick, raise the dead, cleanse lepers, cast out demons. You receive without paying, give without pay. Acquire no gold or silver or copper for your belts, no bag for your journey, or 2 tunics, or sandals or a staff, for the laborer deserves his food. So it sounds like, they might be able to eat where they go and get some food, but otherwise they're not supposed to be making like profit off of the ministry that they're about to do, nor get like a bunch of like other forms of wealth, like extra clothes or things from this. They need the bare minimum. Just go out, do ministry, don't take in money. You can eat with people, but like just do your thing, And that to me kind of seems like an example of Jesus' life, right? Because he seems to be kind of a vagabond wandering around. He seems kind of homeless. Bible says that Jesus quotes a prophetic word when he says, foxes have holes, but, Son of Man has nowhere to lay his head. Almost as though, like, I'm a homeless guy. I got nowhere to chill out or live or whatever. I'm just kind of wandering around. But he is constantly eating with people. So God provides for him just like he expected the disciples to be provided for. When they do return from this ministry later in like Matthew, later down the road, just like, were you missing anything? No. So the idea was like God provided for us for our whole ministry. Is that what it was for Jesus? Just God provides for him while he's walking around and doing stuff. Whatever the case is, to me, he didn't seem loaded. Right?
Right.
He didn't seem absent of money, but he didn't seem loaded. And so that brings us to the story of the rich young ruler, what was his advice to him?
Go and sell all your possessions and give it to the poor.
Yeah. Seemed like that guy was maybe, some people would say that guy was just too reliant upon his possessions and that he needed to get rid of it all so that he could be free of an addiction or whatever. For me, that always seems extreme just because, like, who wouldn't want to write this passage off? Right? Who wouldn't want to be like, oh, that was just for that guy? It's like, well, I don't know. If we were to try to image Jesus, how did he live his life? He didn't seem to me to be loaded. Some would disagree with that. I've read books that go another route, but that's just not the impression I get. So I try to think, like, how do I live this out? Because, like, I have a family to provide for. Do I really sell everything I have and that's just kind of it? Or, like, what is the right financial lifestyle to live into? Like, it's just a question. Because you do see people who have lots of money and do a good job at, like, trying to delegate it and designate it to the right places and whatnot. Seems like they're not hung up on it or weighed down by it, but they're using it in ministry.
I think John Wesley is a good example of that.
Yeah.
He started out very poor when he did ministry, but over time, as he got more popular, like, they kept trying to give him more and more money, but he set an amount for himself and he wouldn't go over that. That was the amount he needed to live by. And any single dime he made above that, he made sure it was given back or given away. He wouldn't allow himself to keep it.
Yeah, I think when the tax collectors, too, they were like, there's no way he's paying the right taxes because this guy, he's popular, and yet, like, his taxes are so low. What's going on here? And, like, if I remember right, they came by and all he had was, like, a single spoon. Like that. Let's see if I can find the story. Yeah, so here I just found kind of the reference. After the tax collectors kind of got a hold of him, he's like, "Sir, I have 2 silver teaspoons at London and 2 at Bristol. This is all the plate which I have at present, and I shall not buy any more while so many around me want bread. I am, sir, your most humble servant. So like that's an example of like how John Wesley lived his life. Likewise, like, you know, I try to think of my own life. In my mind, like, if I ever were to make a certain amount of money, just like Wesley, it'd be like, I don't have need for like more of this. So since I work in a church, I would just be like, just cut my salary off at a certain point. Now, I don't know what that point is. I haven't figured that out yet. It's,
I mean, it's hard to follow John Wesley's example.
yeah, it's hard to follow John Wesley's example, but in my mind, I would think, and I've talked to my wife about this. I'm like, we only need to make so much money. Like, there's no reason I need to make like a certain amount. And pastors don't usually make a lot of money, but like if I were happen to be in a place where it was too high, I'd just be like, just cut it off at this point. You know, I don't need that much. I don't think we need to live lives that are all about making that much or whatnot. So that's one of the ways I try to think, like, how could I image Jesus in my life financially? Well, figure out how much you need and then cut it off, or what is an appropriate amount for each person. So, what about you guys? Have you thought of ways that you would?
I know I feel this passage often weighing on my heart, especially recently with the home buying. I was very, I did struggle with that a lot because I'm like, man, Jesus didn't have a home. Is this something I should be doing, or is this a selfish action? And I just feel constantly like maybe I need to be doing more, and I don't know how. And it's hard.
I know for me, I feel like I've used my home as a way to help give back. Just because I've had people come and go who I've tried to help let their lives move forward and get better through what I have to be able to help give that. So
Yeah, I mean, Casey had a homeless man he didn't even know living with him for a year or two at one point. Right?
6 months. But
6 months. Still, like, that's, talk about taking your possessions and then finding ways to give it away. I know people in our church. There are some people in our church who took in a homeless man, and after that experience, he was able to go rent his own apartment for like the first time. Like, that happened because of just a simple kindness that people showed to him with the possessions that they had, and was able to help him get back on his feet. So, like, yeah, we take what we have and we give that away how we can. We take the possessions that we have and we find ways. You know, I don't think like God's looking for us to not like be happy. I don't think it's that. But as far as like a prosperity gospel of like blessing and just like all this stuff and whatnot.
Well, I even think that, I mean, there are some people in Jesus' time that were able to give Jesus the items that he needed for his ministry. And, I think those people did, receive gifts to be able to be in that position.
Yeah, I would say, so, like, when you look at the resurrection, I think that's an example of, like, one day we do get, like, all the blessings of, like, just a incredible richness of everything, not just money, if that even exists in the resurrection. Rather, just, like, the whole world is ours. Like, so if you would, I guess, like, prosperity and blessing, like, that's ahead of us. But, like, right now we're called to this, like, humble, how can we serve one another with what we have? How do we use the money we have to live generous lives that serve those around us? And the things that we do buy, how can we use that to serve others? So that would be a great example, I think. Like, you have a house now. How does that go to help those around you? And so there's ways to take the richness that we have been given and use it to bless others. Just like this guy would. I could imagine Jesus looking at him and be like, the house that you have, hey, maybe take a homeless guy in, or maybe like throw parties for the poor, for those who otherwise wouldn't be able to have a feast, things like that. Speaking of money, you can support the Jackson Cloud at jacksoncloud.com. Just click the giving button and that will take you to 1208 Greenwood, which has a page you can give through there. They help start this whole project. And while you're at it, make sure you join the church in all other kinds of ways. Jackson Cloud's an online church. We'd love you to join us in the Discord, talk about today's session, and much, much more. You can also like, comment, subscribe, and well beyond. We've got lots of podcasts going on throughout the week as well. Learn more all about all those things at jacksoncloud.com.